Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is Saturday, February 18th, so you know what time it is. It's time for Wax Gaming Weekly Recap, where we go through all the updates from this past week and anything that's coming up next week in 10 minutes or less to give you the best information possible and as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. The biggest news of the week is coming up as far as Novopangea has their Novo token that is kicking off the sale, the private sale is kicking off here on the 19th tomorrow. And then the public sale kicks off on the 23rd. I did a full video on this yesterday, so if you are at all interested in the Novo token and getting into some of these pre-sales, go ahead and check out that video from yesterday. Also, they will be officially listed on Alcor on February 28th, plus a big game update that's going to happen, including town hall staking, including level 4 skilled workers and residential buildings. So lots of things that are going to happen here for Novo on the 28th. In addition to that, I did a video earlier this week showing you how you can earn Novopangea, or basically the Novo token dividends monthly just by owning and using land within the game. So go ahead and check out that video from earlier this week if you want to learn how to get some passive dividends just from owning and using the lands within Novopangea. Next on the list is our planet. If you remember a few weeks ago, I did a gameplay review on this. I'm hoping to do some additional ones coming here in the near future. Just wanted to give you an update on the current season that's going on for Alpha. They officially closed the entry point, so you can no longer get into this current Alpha that's going on. In addition to that, we finally gotten to the point where there is more destroyed bases than there are active bases. So we're getting into the nitty and gritty where at least the lower levels are getting weeded out, and you're going to see some interesting battles happening between some of the bigger alliances coming here shortly. So some cool things that are coming up. It's going to get explosive in our planet, so I wanted to go ahead and highlight that milestone that happened this past week. Next on the list is Realm. They had a couple things that they've announced. First of all, this weekend that kicked off last night, they have the double mission speed weekend, which basically means throughout this weekend, your missions that you send out is going to take half the time that it normally would, which means faster mission, or I should say reputation build up. You can really take advantage of this and climb up the rankings. Also open new areas because it's still so early in the game where you can get to North America and South America pretty quickly. And it's possible this weekend you could jump a full region just by actively running missions throughout the game. So check it out. In addition, they also announced a second pack release. To give you some background on this, the initial pack release went super fast, the fastest I've ever seen this season pack release go. There's some complaints, some players wanted some packs that weren't able to get some possible bots jumping in there. So they decided to go ahead and release a second round of packs. It's going to happen on March 13th. There are some whitelisting for this one. You have to be, for Gold League, you have to be in the top 200. For Silver, top 150. And for Bronze, top 100. So you have to be an active player in the game in order to be eligible to get some of these packs. So check that out. All the details are out there on the Discord if you're interested in grabbing a pack. Next on the list, we got Taco Universe. Their Automators sale is happening on Tuesday, February 21st. I am absolutely going to be involved in that. I encourage you, if you're into it, obviously not financial advice. If you're into Taco, usually these sell out fast. Usually these have value for the long term. And what it does is it's going to give you a boost on your Shing production within Brigade. So it's a neat addition. Also, if you're a venue owner that has active Brigade open, if your venue's high enough level, you'll get some bonuses. You'll get additional revenue that way also. So check out the sale. I did a full video on this giving you all the details earlier this month. Also with Taco, Cryptia is doing a live event right now, a Ruggo in Love event. It's going to be 2 weeks long. It's already kicked off, so it's less than 2 weeks left. Basically gives you, there's 1,000 wax and pool prizes, so go ahead and check it out. 70% of that's going to go to players, 30% of it's going to go to venue owners. Just a fun event that they're trying to do. They're trying to continue to do more and more events through Cryptia to keep people interested, which I think is an awesome idea. It's not just a season that you get what's laid out in front of you. They're doing events. You know I like events. So it's fun to see that they've added that to it. Farming Tales also released basically the weekly challenge or the monthly challenge event for leveling up your farm from legendary level 1 to level 2. It is a challenge, so go ahead if you're not in there yet. Run over to the barn. The voucher in New Waxchester. Check out how much it's going to cost to go ahead and upgrade. These are also resellable, so they could be available in the secondary market also if you don't want to go through the whole challenge. And it levels your legendary barn up from 1,500 to 1,750 as far as the resources you're able to have in there. In addition, they've also, and this is a rare event that they did here, so I have to respect it. They made a few mistakes with the product change that I highlighted earlier this week, just with the cost of things. They jumped the cost too quickly, which had some issues with the market and some player complaints. And a very rare event where the project team comes back and admits they made a mistake and it adjusts for it. So they listened very closely to their community, and they're making adjustments to try and make it right. People make mistakes, project makes mistakes. The fact that they actually admit to it and are trying to make it right is rare on the Wax blockchain. We see other projects make obvious mistakes, and they are so committed to those, whatever the solution was for that they ignore the community. So I give all the credit to Lycos, Bruce, the Goose, and the rest of the Farming Tales community, project team for really stepping up and trying to make it right to the community. So great job for them. All right, next on the list, again, we have Mining Architect. I mentioned this last week, but because I recorded it on Friday morning, I didn't have the results of it. But for Mining Architect, they did the HDD hard drive box sales. They sold out fast. It really showed why it's important to have a gold pass if you're at all interested in this project, because most of the packs sold by the end of the gold pass time frame. I think there's maybe like one or two by the end of the silver pass for the public. So this sold out super quick. They are not available in game yet, but I think that there's an update coming here in the next few days that will allow you to use these in the game. They've also been hinting at another sale that's coming up for new miners for Rebus, I believe it is. But no details around that yet. So they're adding more miners overall to their farm, which is great that they're continuing to progress, continuing to add tokens like they've promised. So lots of cool things happening here. Next on the list, Avalon from Danu Games. They threw out a Medium article this in the last couple hours where they kind of announced some highlights. The alpha has been going on since early January, I guess maybe even the end of December. I can't remember exactly. And they threw out some highlights as far as what's been accomplished. Over 60,000 orcs have been killed in the raid area, which is huge. That means there's a lot of things that are going on. Also announced some things that are coming here in the near future. I'm gonna do a video on this next week, kind of highlighting a lot of these. But we have a tournament's coming. We got flying mounts are going to come in for a short time. Those are fun. I actually got to play the flying mounts for like a day or two before alpha kicked off. Those are awesome. A good time. I'm glad that games are getting those into it. Emerald and Silver passes are going to be kicking off here in early March. So lots still going on. Lots of people involved in this. I highly encourage you to take a look at it. Again, not financial advice, but take a look at it. It's a fun game. It's very rare that you have a fun game on Wax. This is one that again, I've said it 1,000 times already. This is going to be a game changer for Wax that I think you should all be at least aware of. All right, next on the list is Immerses. They are going from, they're basically doing a migration from their old cloud environment to a new one. So they gave the full details of that migration process and all the work that's going to go around it. I love it because it's very transparent. It's very open, makes everybody aware of what's going to go on as far as what could impact you. And there may be some hiccups throughout this process, but at least they're making you aware of what's going on. And in the end, it's going to be better for the overall game and project. All right, then we got Forged Arena. Just quick announcements. They announced that their New Year's bundle is available now on the website. Not exactly sure. I don't know the background of this. I'm not sure why the New Year bundle is now, but maybe it's just it was part of the process. I personally don't know. I don't have enough history on that, but wanted to make you aware that it is now available. Mecca World made some big announcements. They made their lore around the orcs available, and they also gave us an update on the housing system, which is pretty neat that they are continuing to progress with that. So they have not given up on it. I know there's been some information out there that it's slowed down, but it's nice to see that they're continuing. They also have a demo out there on in the game where you can go ahead and at least get a peek. Again, remember, this is a prototype and it's very early, but if you go to the game itself and you go up here to the farmer, click on that, you can actually have a free range. This is essentially what the housing area is going to look like. I'm assuming your house is going to go here, and you're going to be able to customize all this. It's still in the development stage. It's still in the design stage. So it's not going to be anytime soon, but it's nice that they're giving us a little sneak peeks of what's going on. So a fun thing to see. Plus they're throwing out the lore and they're getting the story behind it, so we're all aware of that. Also, next on the FGL side, Cosmic Clash had a sale this past week. There's still some available if you're in Cosmic Clash. A little bit pricier, but for those of you that are in the game, it's probably well worth it. But just wanted to make you aware that they do have a pack available, and it is still on sale, so it's available. On the Mecca World side, just want to let you also know that their season is going full force. They kicked off week 2 yesterday. The interesting thing about this is they have their leaderboards, and I think I highlighted this when I did the gameplay review. They have their leaderboards, but they also have community rewards. Essentially, the more the community does as far as earning and improving, the better the rewards for the entire community is. So it's a neat thing that they've highlighted here, and every single week they have different rewards that are out there, and they have seasonal rewards. So check it out if you're all on this. This is one of those games that it's on my list to potentially get back into. I know I tested it out, but I just didn't have the means at the time. But it's one of those games that I'm keeping an eye on, that I want to potentially look towards in the future. And then last but not least, I wanted to just throw this out there. This is for Million on Mars. They posted yesterday an announcement, basically kind of memeing some stuff that's happening in the real world, and also kind of foreshadowing some stuff in the future. Basically saying there's spy balloons over Mars. So there's a chance there could be invasion from something else. I don't know. I'm purely speculating here, but I think they're kind of foreshadowing some content that's coming up here in the near future. So keep an eye on Million on Mars. They are continuing to improve it. I'm not as involved in that as I used to be, but it's nice to see that they're developing and then continuing to put out new strategies and new features. So it'll be fun to see what they have going on here. All right. That is the week, basically in a recap. Let me know in the comments down below if I missed anything, any announcements that I should have brought up. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.